Choco, there are so many things to talk about grand final day. Would you do anything differently?
No. There's a lot of preparation. Obviously, we had a few years of mental torment in regard to not quite getting there. So whatever it took on the day, the team was pretty resilient and bulletproof. So down at half-time, we still believed in what we were doing, and to everyone's credit and all the supporters, everyone stuck with us and kept believing in us, and it was a great result.
You gave that tie a fair workout. Was that premeditated or not?
Nah, honestly, you can see it was just a raw emotion. It was there's no planning involved. We were down at half time and they were calling us chokers as we were walking down the thing. So I don't know. I kind of remember things people say about me. So, I don't know. To me, it was basically, go get nicked. We're not chokers. We're Port Adelaide.
Yeah. Tredders, you get to be the Premiership captain. Sad story about Matthew Primus. Josh Franco missed out as well. But what I want to ask you about is 1, 2 and 3, our finals campaigns went off the rails. We were arguably the best side 3 years in a row. So how much belief was there? We're playing a team in Brisbane who are looking at their 4th Premiership in a row. They're an unbelievable side.
Yeah, they were. And I guess early on in that season, unfortunately, and Matty's here tonight, he was the captain. And he was the one from day one. It's been documented. I don't think
let's actually get Matty Primus up here and let's put our hands together for Matty Primus. Yeah.
So a little bit of story as Matty comes up. I hope he's moving. He's on my table, not far behind. But people forget that he had his, I think round 3, hurt his knee. We lost Josh Franco in the pre-season, so arguably won the Premiership with a weaker list. We had some players leave in the off-season, but the facts are that the team worked together better. And Matty, it's a testament that he is and the captain he was from that period after taking over from Gavin in 2001. I don't think, bar surgery, he didn't miss a meeting or a training session. So whilst he didn't play on the day, he was a massive part of what we did, and it was all about the number of players that missed out on selection in that given day on the Premiership day. And that's where it gives kudos to the theory that squads win premierships, not teams. So Matty was a massive bit. And for me, I was just a vice captain, along with Josh Carr, who tossed a coin. But we represented a community. And I quickly, aside Dits, congratulations to the footy club that's put this on. This is the best function I've ever seen. It's almost like it's Footy Trip revisited. It's teammates, it's sponsors, it's friends, and it's the community. And whoever come up with this idea, you're to be congratulated. It's been wonderful.
Well done. Matty Primus, if you're there, you've got to come up. Please come and join us. I know you're humble, but if you're on his table, urge him to come up here and say hello. Wangers, grand final day. Again, we'll talk about some other games in a moment, but your close mates, Byron Pickett, Norm Smith medalist, the Burgoyne brothers were just outstanding, and you played a major role yourself. You must be very, very proud of that group of players.
Yeah, look, I'm extremely proud to have us Indigenous boys on the day, have a nice contribution, I suppose, and to see Byron win the Norm Smith medal was absolutely awesome for him and his family. But if you speak to Peter, he'll probably say he should have won it. So
speak to you thought you should have won it.
Oh, gee, no, let's not get into that. No.
Let's go back to the prelim final. Did Choco have to give you a bit of a rev up, a bit of a spray?
Yeah, it's probably the first spray I've ever had in my 300 games. Getting to half time and I didn't have a kick. Sometimes it can be hard sitting in a forward pocket out of the action. But anyway, had to dig deep, and it was really nice to, preliminary finals are very, very hard to win. And I think the previous couple of years we bombed out. We blew really good opportunities, but to be able to win that game and to make a nice contribution that last quarter, kick a couple of goals to put us in front, I'll never forget that. And I'll never forget the boys just at the end of the game and just falling to their knees, just seeing and realising that we're in the big one the next week. So it was a pretty special game for the whole footy club, and especially in our AFL journey from where we've come from.
Brian, from
it's really significant. I can give Gavin a bit of a bake to get him going once every now and again because of our relationship. As a 17-year-old, he was playing when I was finishing my career. We've known each other for a long time. He knows I love him, and he knows that I respect him and expect a certain standard from him, and I'm not going to put up with him finishing his career at Port Adelaide and not getting what he deserves. So I'm going to put it on him. I'm going to make sure that he delivers what he can, and he brought it to the table, kicked the last 2 goals for us, got us over the line, get us to the grand final, and we'll remember it forever. On my 60th birthday, on my wall, I've got a Gavin Wanganeen dot painting that I absolutely love. So thank you, Gav.
Thanks, Jock. I love you too.
Brian, from a club point of view, for us as supporters, the club did something extraordinary. No other AFL club has ever done this, but the trophy, the Premiership trophy, people could actually go to the club and pick it up and take it home. And I did. You had to sign it out. It was a very risky thing to do, I can tell you, for a lot of people. But what a thing to do, to actually let the fans grab that trophy and take it home, have photos with it, and all. It was extraordinary.
Yeah, so it came about probably, I mean, we won the grand final on the Saturday. We celebrated on the Sunday, and Sunday night, the cup was still on the ground, and I thought, well, we must do something with it. Took it home, cleaned it up, brought it back next day. We had a board meeting of our board, who was sitting just over here, most of them, on the Monday night. God knows why we had a board meeting Monday night. So Greg Bolton started the board meeting and said, we have no business tonight. Let's go over to the Licence Club and we'll have a bite to eat. So we went over to celebrate, and we take the cup over with us, and we sit it on the table, and there's probably 50, 60 people around, and each of them come over and they touch it and they have photos done with it, and then we left it there. We left it there every day for months and months for people to come in. So thousands of people came in, thousands had the chance to touch it because it was their trophy. I mean, at the end of the day, as a footy club, we come from humble suburban Port Adelaide, and we're in the big league, and we need one thing to give us the respect that we deserve. We've got the respect in the SNFL over that whole journey. The one thing we needed in the AFL was silverware and an AFL Premiership, and it belonged to everyone, and we made sure that everyone felt the cup.
And one of the issues we had, I'm not going to say what I said to you, Chop, off the record. After a few days, we actually need some panel repairs, didn't we, on that cup? It had taken a few dings over the journey.
Taken a few. I think it's taken a few more since.
Gavin, they say you should never celebrate until the siren goes, but there must have been a point. There must have been a point in that game where you said, we've won the Premiership.
Yeah, I think I set up there when I kicked my 4th goal. I thought, yeah, we'd won it. So that's it. But I probably, there's still about 10 minutes to go, but the tears just started to fall because of all the hard work. I mean, the 3 previous seasons we were favourites, and we probably should have won a Premiership, but we didn't. And, as a group, we're quite fortunate that we ended up getting up off the ground after those knockout punches, getting up with that courage to go and win a Premiership. We could have easily just fallen over and everyone would have forgotten who the hell we were, and we never could have been rewarded with a Premiership. So that's how special that 04 Premiership is.
Choco, we've talked about the great players, the real good players. In the prelim final, Roger James, probably one of the most outstanding individual games that actually, some of us would argue, got us to the grand final.
Yeah, I've spoken to Grant Thomas and a few St Kilda people, and they can't believe who in the hell is this Roger James that basically kept Port Adelaide in the game for the first 20 minutes of the first quarter because no one else touched the ball. And Fraser Garrick obviously has a shot on goal. Every one of you got on the ground, and thank you very much. To be able to calm our players down, settle it down, and thanks to Roger. Also, it would be remiss of me on this night not to remember the other coaches that I had with me. We had certainly Phil Walsh, who was a great mate of mine. We had Dean Bailey, again, a wonderful coach. Certainly put a lot of calmness. There's a little clip of me going a bit crazy in the box early days with David Hutton mucking up the communication. David Hutton, I've named you in front of everyone. But anyway, Dean was a wonderful balancing act in our box, and David Pittman who'd come from the dark side, if you like, and had been fantastic for us in the ruck area. And Jeff Morris, again, been with Stephen. Jeff, when I was 17 at West Adelaide, Jeff played and was an All-Australian at West Adelaide. So we had some real quality coaches in the box. And people all forget, but Alistair Clarkson was our forwards coach until 2 weeks before the grand final. So understand that as well. We had a terrific, very talented box. Lots of them have obviously gone on to be AFL coaches. Then Matty, then Dimmer, then Dewey now. You know, we had a wonderful era where we developed a lot of players that became great coaches, and we're very proud of our players that have gone on to become something great as well.
Brian, when we entered the AFL, and Mark, you might have something to say about this as well, but everyone thinks of Brian Cunningham as the cleanest living person of all time, never broken a rule in his life, and I'm here to dispel that myth, because the cheating that went on behind closed doors to get us into the AFL, the players that we hid from the draft and the different things you did. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Creative.
It's not cheating. There's no cheating about it, because we were an SANFL club winning premierships, not yet in the AFL. So in 1996, when we're not yet in the AFL, why can't we go and contract Warren Tredrea and contract 5 other of our best players, and then go and get Matty Primus out of Brisbane? We can do all of that stuff because we are not in the AFL.
Brendan Lade?
Yeah, we got fined.
Josh Franco?
I know we got fined.
Yeah.
Michael Wilson, Peter Burgoyne, Tom Carr, Paul Evans. Who didn't we get?
And at the end of the day, we got everyone we wanted, which was great. But it's about getting the best people on and off the field. We had, as Mark described, we had the best coaching panel in the AFL. We won more games in that period of time between 2001 and 2004 than any other club, including Brisbane. They won 3 premierships. But getting the right people, the right players, and the right off-field people, the Rob Snowdens of the world, that is really important. So, you know, we did everything that we could, and within the rules, got fined 50 grand. Happy to take that any day.
Well, we won a flag in 04, but it was a very special 4-year period. Please thank Brian Cunningham, Mark Williams, Warren Tredrea, Gavin Wanganeen.